Rangers' defeat to Genk has sparked a furious reaction from fans. So bad, in fact, that the CBS panel, based across the pond, wasted no time in tearing into manager Russell Martin. The result has piled pressure on the new boss, and the post-match analysis was as brutal as it was unforgiving. With Rangers struggling to find rhythm under Martin's leadership, the criticism from CBS has only intensified the spotlight on him. We will have a look at this in today's video, along with going over all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Have a watch.
It's hard to see any more road left for him. He's hanging on by a thread. Like we said, a club of Rangers stature should not lose to Genk tonight. And yes, they did play with 10 men and they showed a bit more fighting character towards the second half, trying to get back into it, but it should not be the cause. They should have done that from the start, and we didn't see it. Genk actually had the better chances when it was all square, 11 v 11 in the game. So it's hard to really take any positivities from this game, anything positive from a Rangers perspective. I think he's hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, it's almost as if they got better playing with 10 men because they had to play with this intensity, and it was for the fans. You could tell there's no identity with the squad. There's not a good philosophy with this squad. If there's ever a moment to move on from a manager at such an early tenure, it's now.
We were talking about the pregame, right? When you have managers that back you, administration really that backs you, that perhaps, regardless of the adverse results, you're going to get the time to do what you want. But you can't see any forward progress. You can't see an idea coming together despite the man disadvantage. So it just feels like all the signs point towards Rangers needing to move on from Russell Martin. And I feel like from an ownership perspective at Rangers, it's such a dose of humility to admit, hey,
I made a mistake.
We got it wrong. If Bayer Leverkusen, one of the biggest teams in Germany right now, can do it after 2 match days and say, hey, we got it wrong with Ten Hag. Yes, there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that we may not know about, but they had to kind of swallow that and say, hey, we're the first ones to admit that we got it wrong and we got to move on because the situation is dire. And perhaps I wonder the timeline of Rangers. We were talking about it off air, Nige. Since they've gone into administration, this feels like the lowest point since.
They
have some low points, don't they?
It's the worst start in club history. I mean, it doesn't get worse than this.
Is this rock bottom for them since the administration that they went into with the financial problems?
I believe so. I mean, sometimes you can look at it and say, yes, the result plays a part, but sometimes you have to look beyond the result. And Rangers right now are not even getting the results. And the performances are not getting better. There is no identity. They want to play out the back sometimes, they're not getting the results. The players look like they have no idea what they're doing. So for me, it's an absolute mess. And I think that the ownership probably would have to really put up their hands down to say, we made the wrong decision and you have to move on from it. Because this for me seems like it's only going to get worse.
Poppy, it's real simple to see. When you watch a team play and you take away the results, are you seeing exciting passages of play? Are you seeing certain roles that players have made their own? You say, man, this team really gives us hope that they can challenge Celtic, or they're moving in the right direction, that there's progress from the we're just going to play on the counterattack and rely on set pieces, which they did last year, and they did it well. But this is just a disaster all around.
In other news, Rangers lost out on some serious money amid their damaging Europa League loss to Genk last night. Former Celtic striker Oh Hyun-gyu netted the decisive goal at the 55-minute mark at Ibrox, rectifying his earlier penalty miss, with Jack Butland saving. Mohamed Diomande was sent off before half-time for a dangerous lunge right in front of the referee, which made Rangers' task even harder. The result leaves Russell Martin's position hanging by a thread, with fans again turning their backs on the head coach at full time, with boos and chants of "Martin, get to F audible." To rub salt into Rangers' wounds, a victory or even a draw would have not only seen them pick up a positive result in the circumstances, but also would have been a boost to their coffers. That's because in the league phase of this season's Europa League, for every win a team records, £389,000 will be paid out in prize money by UEFA. For a draw, European football's governing body will award teams £130,000. Of course, with Genk winning 1-0, they got the full prize money on offer from the matchday 1 fixture, with the Airbrooks club getting 0. Not only that, with a home attendance of just 37,000, Rangers also lost out on valuable gate receipts. With 12,000 empty seats at Ibrox at an estimated £50 a ticket, that's around £600,000 give or take, in further revenue missed out on by the club. This takes the absolute maximum earnings missed out on to just shy of £1 million, which doesn't include merchandise sales or lack of. Chairman Andrew Kavanagh was in attendance at the game last night and could be seen speaking to supporter at one point during the game from the director's box. In other news, Russell Martin is in big trouble at Rangers, admits Ali McCoist, after last night's damaging 1-0 home defeat to Genk. Former Celtic striker Oh Hyun-gyu beat the offside trap before thundering home into the bottom corner beyond Jack Butland midway through the second half to grab the winning goal for the Belgians in Glasgow. That followed a dramatic ending to the first half that saw Rangers denied a penalty for handball, Mohamed Diomande being sent off for a high tackle, and Butland saving a spot kick from O to keep the score level heading into the break. Boos were audible around those who remained inside Ibrox at full time, with further chants of Martin get to F as the former Scotland international promptly walked up the tunnel. It had been hoped that Saturday's 2-0 League Cup victory over Hibs would see Martin's Rangers side turn a corner, but Thursday night proved that is not quite the case, certainly for now. And McCoy sided with supporters and their dismay at what has been a dismal start to the campaign. They're totally justified in their disappointment at what they're seeing, the 63-year-old said post-match on TNT Sports. It clearly hasn't been good enough. You can point to the red card, but it goes deeper than that. The level of performance hasn't been good enough. Coming into the stadium tonight, you could have blown me away. It was nothing like a normal atmosphere of any game, never mind a European game at Ibrox. There was apathy, there was no life about the place, on or off the pitch, which is really concerning. The manager is in trouble, he's in big trouble. Something has to change dramatically, and on the current evidence, sadly, I can't see it happening. Meanwhile, over on Sky Sports coverage from their Glasgow base, Chris Boyd insisted that the club's American ownership have no other option other than to start looking for Martin's potential successor now. He commented, "Looking at it right now, there is no other option than to start looking. Not only for a new manager, but the recruitment needs an overhaul. Russell Martin will be the one that ends up paying the price. But there's other people at the club who need to be held accountable as well. Because right now, the disconnect from the stands onto the pitch and beyond is as bad as I've ever seen." But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.